Happy New Year, everybody! It's 2024. This is the first video of 2024, and as most YouTubers do at this time of the year, same thing with reflecting on our favorite games of the previous year, it's now time to talk about the games that I am most anticipated for in 2024. That was a good rhyme. That was a really, really good rhyme. Kind of, not really. Hi everybody, my name is Alex, aka Qualitea, and welcome back to the channel. Luna just climbed under the bed, so we might have some special guest appearances if you haven't seen her on camera already, so she'll help me do this list, I guess. She's a big Nintendo Switch fan. But yeah, so I decided to do things a little differently with this list, especially because a lot of the most anticipated games for 2024 videos have been out for weeks, and I'm noticing a lot of overlap between people, which I think is a good thing. It means there's a lot of really, really cool stuff coming out this year. It also means we don't know a lot about 2024 and what games are coming out in the future, especially the later half of the year. So I decided, one, I'm gonna keep this a Switch-focused list. While there are non-Switch games that I'm excited for, those games are more likely not going to be played by me in 2024. Looking at you, Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, unfortunately I don't have a PS5, but that's alright. And we're only going to do 6 of them as opposed to the normal 10. I really wanted to curate this to the ones that I'm truly most excited for and the ones that I feel I'm most likely going to play in 2024. I'm really hoping to make 2024 the year of finishing out a lot of my backlog. I might do another backlog related video sometime soon to kind of talk about what's specifically in my backlog, but I'm not sure. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. But yeah, so I wanted to really kind of narrow it down to the 6 that I am the most excited for. And I also wanted to talk about Nintendo-related wishes that I have for 2024. As I just said, we don't really know what's happening the second half of the year, so I think it might be kind of fun to theorize / just throw some wishes out into the ether of what I would love to see on the Switch for the remainder of the year. So you kind of get like 2 videos for the price of 1. Almost, except you're not really paying for this. Let's start with our most anticipated titles. So we're gonna go through these in order of upcoming release dates, starting with our very first one, which releases in only like a few weeks now, which is pretty exciting. Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy. So we're getting another Ace Attorney Trilogy on the Switch. I'm super pumped about this one, especially because it's getting a US physical release, so I can add it to my collection of other Ace Attorney games that I have for the system. I've also never played any of these 3 games. I'm a pretty new Ace Attorney fan in the long sphere of things, so I never really got to experience the 3DS games. So I'm really excited that they're finally coming to the Switch, especially since you can't really get them for 3DS anymore either. So the Apollo Justice series happens much later than the original Ace Attorney trilogy, following newcomer attorney Apollo Justice, the aforementioned guy, with his mentor Phoenix Wright. You have a lot of familiar characters and a lot of new characters in this trilogy. Not only that, but in this version of the trilogy, you get the 2 extra DLC stories, which is pretty nice. This trilogy is actually really decked out with a lot of extra features for Ace Attorney fans. There's extra art resources, music resources, all of that kind of stuff. So it really feels like a great thing for an Ace Attorney fan. And again, it's just nice to see these 3 games kind of get into the spotlight again, especially because I think a lot of people are like me who kind of missed out on them the first time. And this game is coming out January 25th. It's so soon. It's so soon. This isn't one I'm sure I'm gonna get on release date. As I said, gotta cull the backlog a little bit first, but this is one I'm definitely going to be picking up at some point in time, and I can't wait to experience more Ace Attorney stuff. Second, which honestly might be my most excited game on this list, I think, maybe, I'm not totally positive, but Unicorn Overlord, an Atlas and Vanillaware tactical RPG. I am pumped. So I've actually never played a Vanillaware game, at least not that I can think of. I have not picked up 13 Sentinels, but that's on my like to-buy list for the Switch at some point in time because I've heard wonderful things about it. But when they announced this at the most recent Nintendo Direct, I was super pumped. This looks absolutely right up my alley. It's in March, which is my perfect RPG time, honestly. Like, that is the time of year that I want to play some tactical RPGs. I don't know why I have that association. Set on the continent of Fevrith, you are an exiled prince who is looking to gather allies and take back his kingdom. In this game, you're fighting really, really large battles with movement and other battles taking place in real time, which I think is just a really, really cool thing. I really like that idea. And again, the Vanillaware artwork just looks so pretty. All of the characters look really, really, really nice. I highly recommend checking out the Unicorn Overlord website for more information. It's just a really, really pretty website too, so it's really worth it just to look at the character art, but I am so excited for this game. Again, it just looks right up my alley. I'm interested by the premise. Like, I love revenge stories. I love exiled princes. Like, yes, sign me up, I'm ready. I also kind of want to know more about why it's called Unicorn Overlord. I think there's something called like the Unicorn Ring as a part of it, but I'm not positive. Like, I don't know. The title right off the bat was really intriguing to me because I was like, it's interesting. It's very interesting, but regardless, super pumped for this one. And even though I already said that it comes out in March, specifically, Unicorn Overlord comes out on March 8th. Next up, we have Princess Peach Showtime. Now, I am not actually a super big Princess Peach fan. I don't dislike her. I was just never somebody who grew up loving Peach, but I am so excited to see her in her own game. I mean, not like she didn't have one before on the DS, but like in one that looks like it could really be good. Princess Peach's trip to the Sparkle Theater gets uprooted when the Evil Grape, which is a ridiculous name for a villain, and the Sour Bunch take over. Partnering up with the theater's guardian Stella and using this magic ribbon to transform into different roles, Princess Peach becomes the lead of several different plays, and it's up to you to kind of help her transform and turn the theater back to normal. In case you all haven't noticed at this point in time in the channel's history, I am very bad at making up synopsises for games. It's not my strong suit. Regardless, this game looks awesome. There's so many different transformations Peach can go through, which I think is a really great concept for the character of Peach, because you kind of think about it like, all right, if we're making a Peach game, what kind of superpowers can she have? In the DS Princess Peach game, it was her emotions, which was a very controversial topic. I think it's hilarious, but it's just a very, like, what? Whereas this, I think, is perfect. It's a type of power that I think anybody can really get behind, and it appeals to a lot of different people. You have Peach in a kung fu outfit and a baking outfit. Like, there's just a lot of other things that I'm so excited to see other transformations. Hopefully we'll see a little bit more at the February Direct. I bet we will. And yeah, I'm really, really excited for this game. Princess Peach Showtime comes out on March 22nd. Now for our last game that has an actual release date, we have another RPG, and one that I've had my eye on for a long time. Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes. This game I actually really wanted to fund the Kickstarter back in the day, but I think it was a payment issue, and also, fun fact, they weren't really sure if they were going to bring this game to Switch immediately. They knew they wanted to bring it to a Nintendo console, but at the time in 2020, it was kind of up in the air of, is it going to be the Switch or is it going to be the next console? So they weren't really sure, which is another reason that I kind of didn't really prioritize backing it. But now it's coming to the Switch for sure, and I am super duper excited. There's also a prologue, which I have not played, Eiyuden Chronicle Rising. If you've played it, let me know if it's worth playing, / if you think I should play it. It's been on my list, but it hasn't been a priority of my to-buy Switch games, so let me know if it's a good game though. In 100 Heroes, the Galdean Empire is a huge, constantly expanding empire that's basically edged out any other empire, kingdom, or settlement within its continent. However, they're not done seeking power, so they're looking for this special artifact in order to help them expand their power even more. On an expedition looking for this specific artifact, we have an Imperial officer meet a young boy from a village. This meeting changes the course of fate. Both are thrusted into the fires of war that makes them re-examine what they've always known to be true and what they believe is to be right and wrong. Again, another interesting RPG premise. Now, the biggest gimmick about this game is the fact that you get to recruit so many different heroes to your cause. And a lot of these heroes have very fleshed out personalities. They're not just random NPCs that you can collect. There's a lot of different characters here. The protagonists themselves also seem very interesting. Overall, I'm just really excited to see how this story is going to go. So this is definitely one that I would really love to pick up this year, and it comes out on April 23rd. For our last two games, we have two games that do not have a release date, and who knows, maybe they won't release in 2024, but as of right now, that is when they are scheduled to release, and first is the Plucky Squire. Now, this game took the world and the internet by storm when the trailers first dropped. The art is done by James Turner, who formerly worked for Pokemon, and it's just, if you follow James Turner's Twitter, it's just such a unique and wonderful style, and he's great. He's a really, really great artist. And once I saw that, I was immediately sold, and then when I heard the premise, I was sold on it even more. So our story begins when the evil Humgrump, which again, I love all of these different like enemy villain names, they're so funny. Humgrump throws out our main character, Jot, out of his own storybook because he saw the end of the story where he gets defeated by Jot, so he tries to get rid of him. So now Jot has to go in between his own storybook in the 2D world and the 3D world surrounding the storybook in order to face off against Humgrump and still make the end of the story happen for real. I love the concept of going between 2D and 3D. One specific example that I always think of is Super Paper Mario. I love that mechanic in that game, and I think this is the perfect setting to do that in, going between a book and the room that the book is in. I think that's awesome. Like, it's really, really, really cool. But it seems like a really, really fun adventure. And I don't know, the art sold me on it right away. It just looks so cute. So I'm super excited. This game was supposed to come out in 2023. However, it ended up getting pushed back, which I'm a big, if it's not ready, keep it in the oven. Like, you know, like don't force it out. So I'm really, really glad that it got pushed to 2024. So I'm really hoping for like an end of the year release, but we'll see. And finally, my last most anticipated game of 2024, you guessed it, Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door remake. Now this one I have some theories about for Thousand Year Door, but first a quick synopsis. Mario is summoned to the dirty little port town of Rogueport because he received a letter from Princess Peach urging him to go there because of hidden treasure. When he arrives, Princess Peach is nowhere to be found and he gets sent on this huge journey traversing this world in order to collect the crystal stars. I love this game, and if you have not played Thousand Year Door, it's an absolute gaming must in my opinion. I know RPGs are not for everybody, and not everybody likes the idea of a Mario RPG. However, I really do think this, along with the original Super Mario RPG, are must-play games. Like, they just are. One of my favorite things about Thousand Year Door are the action commands, which are coming back. They didn't get rid of that for this version of the game. And it's just so great to have this game so accessible again in the near future, because buying it on the GameCube is so expensive now. It's one of those games that just went up in price. I don't even have it physically on the GameCube. I used to have to borrow it from friends all the time. So I'm so excited that this is coming to the Switch. Or is it? I present the interesting question of, do we think it's still coming to the Switch or a Switch successor? But that's all I'm gonna say about that right now, because now I would like to get into my hopes and dreams for Nintendo of 2024. Starting with what I just talked about. I think this is something that every Nintendo fan wants to hear about this year. News about a Switch successor. There's been a lot more theories circulating around a lot lately, like it's not gonna be an OLED, it's gonna just have a bunch of other features, it's gonna have a camera, it's a lot. For one really, really good video, I highly recommend checking out Arlo's video on what he thinks that the Switch 2 is going to look like. I thought it was a really, really cool video, and he had a lot of ideas that I could personally get behind. Plus, Arlo is just really great. I'm a really big fan, so. But regardless, for me, I almost don't want the Switch 2 or whatever's next to come out this year. I kind of more so want it to come out next year, but I want information on it. I think that's the biggest thing. Again, I'm really sticking to this is my year to clear out my Switch backlog, so I don't need a new console right now. But, you know, the world doesn't revolve around me and my needs. But what I really just want is information sooner rather than later. I'm really hoping that we might even hear something at a February Direct. That would be crazy, but I would love to hear about that. My hope is if it does come out this year, though, that it's a holiday release, mostly because that would be better for my wallet personally, but I just want information. I want to know what it's going to look like. I want to know what it's going to do. I want to know if it's backwards compatible in case I don't finish my backlog this year. I want information. I think it's time. I don't even want the console. I just want something to be really excited for what's coming next. I'm also really hoping that we don't get something new and crazy and that it really is a Switch successor. But that also runs the risk of the Wii U situation. They have to do this right in order for this to go well, and that's what I'm really, really hoping for. So absolutely Switch information. Plus, that'll clear up a lot of what the future looks like for Nintendo. As I said, like, A Thousand Year Door is probably gonna come out for the Switch, but maybe they push it to the new console. Or games that we've been talking about for forever, like Metroid Prime 4. I think we all kind of know that if it comes out, it's coming out on the next console. But I think it would just clear up a lot of information for us, and I'm really excited. But on the other hand, it doesn't look like the Switch is slowing down anytime soon, so I guess we'll have to. Next, for a more specific one, and also just more on the information front rather than receiving this, I want more information on the new Professor Layton game. Now, this game got announced in 2023. I absolutely flipped. I was so excited. And then it got delayed to 2025, which I'm okay with. Again, I'd rather it be done super duper well. That being said, I want more information in 2024 about this game. I want more information, maybe a little bit more information on the story, a little bit like more glimpses of the puzzles and what the world is going to look like. I'm just such a big Professor Layton fan that I am so excited, and I need anything I can get. So I would love some more information on this game. If this game was coming out in 2024, it would probably be my most anticipated game of the year. But we have to wait a little bit longer, which is fine, but I just want information. Third, this is kind of a bit of a stretch because it's not specifically Nintendo, but it is Pokemon. I would love one of two things to see from Pokemon in 2024. I would either love a new Legends type of Pokemon game or a new spin-off entirely. The reasons I say this: one, I really enjoyed Legends Arceus. I thought it was a really great game. I thought it was way better than Scarlet and Violet. Not everybody will agree with that, and that's okay, but that's just my personal take on it. I thought it was just a much better game for me. And I would love to see them do that in another region, exploring the histories of another Pokemon region, seeing other Pokemon, other historic Pokemon. Like, I just really love the concept of that, and I think it can be done in so many different ways with the different worlds we have in Pokemon. So that's one hope. Or I would love to see a new Pokemon spin-off. I didn't play the new Detective Pikachu game. I heard it wasn't very good, and Detective Pikachu is hard because I heard the first game wasn't that great. The movie was great, and then this one also wasn't that great. It has its fans, but I don't know. It's just one that, even though I love mystery games and like detective games, that's one that I could pass on. I want Pokemon spin-offs like the glory days of the DS. Give me a new mystery dungeon, which I guess isn't really a new, but still, a new mystery dungeon. Give me some kind of Pokemon Ranger-like kind of game that's just totally weird and totally out there, but puts Pokemon in a new life, and it isn't a mobile game. That's what I want. I don't want a mobile puzzle game. I want just a new spin-off. That's all I want. So one of those two things. If neither of those, then let them not release a new game this year. I'm okay. I'd rather whatever they have next to wait, which they're not gonna do. That's an even more far-fetched dream than the other two things, but hey, you know, I'm putting it out there into the universe. I'd rather them not crunch to get an unfinished product out. Thanks, Pokemon. Another more specific kind of game that I would love to see, I'd love to see a new Fire Emblem game this year. We got Engage last year, which it doesn't even feel like Engage came out in 2023. I think it feels like it's been out for way longer. And as many of you know, it didn't quite do it for me how I really wanted it to. Not that it was a bad game, it just was not the type of Fire Emblem that I wanted. So I love something completely new, doesn't use old Fire Emblem characters, is just something completely new. Or a remake of an older game, such as Genealogy of the Holy War. There's been a lot of rumors that I don't personally know too much about that the Genealogy of the Holy War remake is already done. But where is it? Where could it be? So I would love either one of those two things. I'm just really missing Fire Emblem, and I'm not gonna go back and replay Engage. I've replayed Three Houses a lot that I think at that point in time, it'd just be a little silly. I should just play other games, but I just want a new Fire Emblem experience. So I'm really hoping that we see that in the coming year as well. Now, these last two are a little bit more ambiguous wishes, but wishes nonetheless. I would really love to see a new standout indie game. One of like the prowess of Hollow Knight or Hades or something like that. Just a really big indie game. Sea of Stars was kind of the one for 2023, I think, and I'd love to see something else, something new and creative for this year as well. I don't know, I just want a big indie game to kind of take the world by storm. Plus, I just want to see something new and exciting, and this kind of ties in with my other one, sort of. I would love to see a totally unexpected sequel or remake come out this year. And I mean completely unexpected. Like, one really incredible thing about the Switch is I've gotten so many games remade or released on this console that, like, I can't even think of a specific game that I would love to have remade on the Switch or a sequel, but I just want something completely unexpected. I love being surprised during Nintendo Directs. Like, that's why I don't look at leaks or really rumors all that much, because I want to be completely surprised. And there were so many moments this year where I was. The Super Mario RPG remake literally, like, killed me a little bit because it's something I had been wanting for so long, and I finally got it. So I would love to see something that would have that almost same effect, but one that I would be completely not expecting, or maybe from a series that I haven't played. I just want something really surprising. And again, that's ambiguous, but I love surprises, so I think it'd be fun. But that takes us to the end of our list. My 6 most anticipated games of 2024 and 6 Nintendo related wishes that I have for 2024 as well. I'd love to hear your most anticipated games, Switch or otherwise, as well as anything that you're hoping to see in the year ahead. And there we have it, our first video of 2024. This was a great one to start the year off with, and I have so many more videos planned for this year. I have a whole list on my phone of video ideas. Some like make sense, like this one. Others are totally random that I hope you will still support me with as well. Hopefully more video game music content as well coming this year. And hey, if you're new on this channel and you kind of like the vibes here, like, please consider sticking around and maybe dropping a sub or a like on this video. I really appreciate it. We do a lot of Nintendo related stuff here, but that's not all we do on the channel. So stick around for more wacky times in 2024. But that's gonna do it for this video, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye. Boop.